Good afternoon and welcome to our June Keys penguin habitat. My name is Frankie and I have two of our mammalogists up here on the deck with me. And we have 23 Magellanic penguins. Magellanic penguins are native to Chile and Argentina. In our colony here we have 3 juveniles or subadults, and they look a little bit different than the rest of the penguins. All 3 of them are actually on deck saying hello to Sarah and Katie, and they are just checking out what's going on. We're in our breeding season right now, so most of our young birds don't have a mate. They don't really know what's going on. They're just trying to figure out what it's like to be a penguin. We have 9 burrows on the side of this habitat. If you take a look, Shim is protecting his territory right up here. And all of our other birds are inside of those burrows since we are in our breeding season. And what that looks like at this point is the pairs switch off to protecting their home while one might go and take a bath or preen like Matson's doing in the water right there. And so is Patsy up front. You may be wondering how I know who each bird is. If you take a look to your left or right, there's a color-coded sign on the wall, and that helps you identify which bird is which. If you're connecting with a particular bird and you're interested in figuring out who is who. For example, we have Matson, who's scratching his head right here, and he's gray, white, orange. So if you go up to the board, that'll correlate with those colors. Magellanic penguins are a part of a species survival plan, and that is how we maintain our populations in a captive care setting. In the wild, these penguins have about 1.4 million breeding pairs, so that's upwards of 3 million in total penguins. But in a captive care setting, it's a little bit different. There's only 230 in total, so we have a plan for all of our birds to last about 250 years, so long as siblings aren't mating and closely related cousins or family members. And since they're birds, it's a little bit easier to control that. Now, we don't have any major issues in our colony when it comes to breeding with siblings, but we can separate or replace an egg with a dummy if we have to. With mammals and other types of animals, it's a little bit different. We may have to separate those animals, but for birds, it's pretty easy to mitigate that. We have 4 Brazilian rescues at the Aquarium of the Pacific. We have Kate, Avery, Robbie, and Roxy, and all 4 of those penguins were found about 5,000 miles north of their normal designated habitat. So basically they were found in a colony of about 35 birds, and 15 of them were deemed non-releasable. And all of that happened right when we were opening up our June Keys penguin habitat. So we were able to take in 4, and all 4 of those guys are doing pretty well. Again, that's Robbie, Roxy, Kate, and Avery. Kate and Avery are a pair, but Robbie and Roxy are not. Roxy is with Floyd, and Robbie is with Patsy, and Patsy's in the water up front. I'm just going to say one more thing about penguins, but this is really a fact about all birds. Their feathers are very important for their well-being. Magellanic penguins go through a catastrophic molt. Molting is when you lose feathers, or in mammals they lose their fur to regrow in new fur. But they'll go through a catastrophic molt where they will lose all of their feathers within a 48-hour period and regrow in new ones. Now that's a really extreme and stressful situation for the penguins. Not all birds do that, but these ones do, and they're doing that to prepare for their very long migration season. Feathers are very important for birds, especially aquatic birds, because it keeps them warm. So they spend about a month after replacing all their feathers adding oil from their uropygial gland. So they'll dip their beak inside of a gland that's on their backside, and they'll catch every single feather. They've got a couple million feathers that they have to reorganize every single day. So you can see Floyd in the water shaking it out. That means that he's reorganizing his feathers and taking a nice bath. That's a little bit about our Magellanic penguins. We are getting ready to close up for the day, so we're going to put some mats out on the exhibit. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to call out, or if you see anyone in a blue shirt, do not hesitate to ask any questions. Thank you so much for coming out.